All right, everybody. Welcome to Small Town Underground. This is Situational Awareness. I did not want to do a live tonight because you can choose to watch this video or not, but I feel like I have to do some kind of justice to get this off my chest, to get this out of my system for a minute, because what a freaking whirlwind that we are dealing with the Epstein List. So, I don't exactly know. I'm going to cover a few things tonight, and I'm not going to be long, but we just got to go back. I feel angry, mad as hell, but I'm also a little bit insulted by the Trump comments today. And a lot of people... I mean, unless you're living under a rock, you don't know Jeffrey Epstein. We'll cover this in a minute, but I've been following this case for years. And this is not really a political episode. This is it's monumental. It's way more than that. Because the things that were going on with Epstein and him getting caught and how that these things were being carried out, it's basically government spy agencies, both internal and external, in other countries. The one we can't talk about. I mean, this stuff runs deep, and the Epstein List was more than a list. A lot of people, especially people who don't pay any attention, or just think that we're all a bunch of crazies. You know, it wasn't about a list or finding videos that we wanted to watch or anything like that. This whole thing was very symbolic. It represented the end of like an evil corruption that has been running our government and our lives for decades. And we know these things exist. We know that there is an Epstein List. We know that there are powerful people on it. And we know that this is business as usual, yet most people will turn a blind eye to it, because it's uncomfortable, or they don't want to know about it. They're too busy eating popcorn and fried mayonnaise balls, whatever. Or they're just simply, they don't like their boat to be rocked. They don't like to think about all the bad things in life and all this crap. But this is very real, and the symbolism behind the Epstein List is very simple. You release the list, and you get rid of those people. Get them out of the system, rebuild the system the way it's supposed to be. And as you can see, it doesn't look like at this time that it is going to happen. And I ask again, where are any of the arrests? I just saw something on X a little bit ago about how they're finally opening up an investigation on James Comey and Russiagate and all this. That's all swell and good, but I'm not the one who's been out here preaching the Epstein List, okay? This was started by this administration. This was one of the campaign promises. This idiot, Pam Bondi, that is running the DOJ, just a complete tool of an idiot. And we're going to cover that tonight, because I got to get this out of my system, because I mean, I've lost a lot of faith in the system. I've lost a lot of faith that we're going to ever be able to fix anything. I live in a state of Georgia where we're in a perpetual state of corporatocracy. It doesn't matter if you're Republican or if you're a Democrat. If you're a Democrat and you have these kind of Republicans, you just keep your mouth shut. That's all you have to do. You just shut up and let the Republicans, off themselves. It's that bad, and it's only going to get worse. So I want to start very quickly here with Grok. And I did this just for people that might need to know and don't actually understand. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but let's just, if you are living under a rock and you don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is, but there are people that don't know who Jeffrey Epstein are still. There's people that have no idea about this case, about any of it. I heard it firsthand yesterday. But anyway, Jeffrey Epstein, born in 1953, died in August 2019. Was an American financier and convicted sex offender. Notice money and sex. It's always about money and sex. Initially just a teacher who transitioned into finance. That's a heck of a story if you want to go down that rabbit hole. Working at Bear Stearns before establishing his own firm, J. Epstein and Co. Managing wealth for high-profile clients. Known for his connections with influential figures, including politicians, celebrities, and business moguls, Epstein cultivated a network of powerful individuals. He was first convicted in 2008 in Florida for soliciting prostitution from a minor, serving 13 months in a lenient jail arrangement. He was arrested again on federal charges of sex trafficking minors involving allegations of abusing numerous underage girls at his properties in New York, Florida, and elsewhere. So you got to understand something. When they talk about there is no list, there's no reason to go further. He was convicted in 2008. All right. He was arrested again on federal charges of sex trafficking minors. So people aren't just making this stuff up. There's actual cases involved. And Pam Bondi was involved in some of this stuff, of course. He died in his jail cell on August the 10th, 2019, officially ruled a suicide, which is backed up by Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. Though his death sparked widespread speculation, conspiracy theories due to his high-profile connections and the circumstances surrounding it. Well, I wonder why. And so we'll talk about Ghislaine Maxwell. She was British-born socialite and Epstein's longtime associate, played a significant role in his life and crimes. Born in 1961, daughter of media tycoon Robert Maxwell. You can look up Robert Maxwell's ties to, I believe, MI6, different CIA. You know, these people were all working for spooks. Met Epstein in the early 1990s, became his close confidant, I'm sure, romantic partner, and then later an alleged facilitator of his criminal activities. She was accused of recruiting and grooming underage girls for Epstein and his associates, as well as participating in some of the abuse herself, which the court documents are sealed. In July 2020, Maxwell was arrested by the FBI and charged with enticement of minors, sex trafficking, and perjury, among others. Counts. Her 2021 trial in New York resulted in a conviction of 5 of 6 charges, including sex trafficking of minors. She was sentenced to 20 years in prison. In 2022, is currently serving her sentence. And of course, she's maintained her innocence, appealing her conviction, blah, yada, 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 yada. Epstein and Maxwell. Cases expose systematic issues regarding wealth, power, and accountability with ongoing investigations, and associates and enablers. Their actions left a lasting impact on victims. Which, if you don't know who Virginia Giuffre is, I highly recommend you going down that rabbit hole. Because she recently committed suicide in Australia. So that's just a little background if you have zero idea who we are talking about. Now, there was I told Grok, just give me a brief history of these two. We're not going any further than that on those two because there's so much to unpack there. But if you think that this Epstein list is just a little, oh my God, why are you worried about it? You know, there was actual court cases, sealed documents, very interesting prosecuting attorneys like James Comey's daughter, Maureen Comey, the same one that basically got Diddy off the hook, you know, in Florida. The same people, the same circles, the same everything. So if you expect me to believe that they're going to actually investigate James Comey for Russiagate and we're going to get anything from it, you're out of your damn mind. Because, you know, Maureen Comey, his daughter, is the one that was handling Ghislaine Maxwell and P. Diddy and all this other stuff. Funny how the apples don't fall far from the tree. But this isn't some just made-up fairy tale. This isn't just some stupid thing. This was the gateway. This was the gateway to the golden age. And this is why I have such an issue with Trump and his idiotic statement today. Because he knew damn good and well. And these people know that they're lying. And we can argue the reasons all day long. But again, it's a slap in the face to, well, really everybody. Especially if you're a God-fearing Christian person. This should send shivers down your spine, but I digress. I want to go back down the memory hole here, and let me see if I can find out. This was Meet the Press. This was from 2019. Now, if you guys remember, there was a reporter that had the Epstein story and kept it, wanted to get it out there, wanted to catch it, and she got caught on a hot mic telling what she had. It wasn't too long ago, James O'Keefe released this crazy video that he got from the Epstein Island, I think, with the craziest video with the kid in the tub and all this stuff. I mean, this is just the nastiest stuff that you can think of. But I wanted to go down memory hole lane here, and this go back to 2019 where they caught her on a hot mic. So I'm going to go ahead and play that now.
Clearly, Amy Robach thought she was having a private off-air conversation when she made these comments about an interview she had with a woman who claimed Jeffrey Epstein held her as a sex slave for 12 years.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story.
Project Veritas, conservative activists who often target the media, was given the tape by someone who once worked for ABC.
It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything.
Shortly after Epstein's suicide in August, NPR's David Folkenflik dove into why ABC never aired Robach's explosive interview.
Shortly before the interview was due to air, Harvard emeritus law professor Alan Dershowitz called the network. He was also one of Epstein's lead defense attorneys.
It's similar to what happened after author and part-time NBC reporter Ronan Farrow got interviews with women saying they had been sexually assaulted.
So they were comparing this to the Harvey Weinstein, whatever the crap his name is. They were comparing it to him, which he'll probably get pardoned and get pulled out of prison for all the crap that he did in the movie industry that, really sparked a Me Too movement. I guess it's all a bunch of BS, though, right? You know, all of the crap that came out of Weinstein, whatever the heck his name is. I mean, these people are scum-sucking people. The evil that is in this world, this is definitely the devil's world, y'all. Anyway, so I wanted to cover that. Let's take a blast down memory lane, because if you're out there and you're watching this video and you're like, oh, who cares about the Epstein list? Well, I mean, this is what the whole point of getting Trump reelected. Go back to 2016 when he told Hillary Clinton, because you'd be in jail. Never went to jail. The Clintons have never been held accountable for any of their actions. It's just a sad, insane, sick world that we're living in, with no consequences for any action, and everybody seems to be in on the take. So I'm going to cover a couple things that I had posted today. The first thing I want to cover is, you can see that. So what does this mean about Ghislaine Maxwell now? It's over with. So I expect Ghislaine to be pardoned. I expect at this point, I mean, who the heck, I said it today on my bingo card, I expect that she'll end up being pardoned because there are no clients, the documents will never be unsealed, we have no idea what that reporter really has, and according to the government, well, I'll get to that in a minute. Notice that nobody said that this stuff was destroyed, okay? Anyway, if there are no clients, why is she in jail? So my bingo card is that P. Diddy will end up picking her up at the prison. They'll fly on a private jet to whatever island that Lolita Express takes them to, and they'll have a big freak off to celebrate them being out of jail. And they'll probably pick up Harvey Weinstein along the way too. So it's just insane. So let's cover this one real quick. This was an oldie but goodie. This was when Benny Johnson had him on the show. And, I have to remind you, I don't make anything off of anything but telling you guys the truth. I don't come on here and talk about this list and know for certain. I don't know what is really going on. But Kash Patel and Dan Bongino made millions of dollars off of telling everybody exactly what they thought. So let's cover this little gem here that's resurfacing, because all this stuff's resurfacing.
It's the same thing with Epstein's List. It's like, what the hell are these Republicans doing?
Oh, blame the Republicans.
Give out the list.
I saw you make news this morning about that. I got to get to that.
Yeah.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's List. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list? And why is it that the Senate, and good for Senator Blackburn to try to get it out, but then Dick Durbin comes over the top and says, no, we're not going to release the names. I don't care about the list itself, but if release the names, right? What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list.
Right. And
You're
we got
gonna
Kash
accept
Patel.
Dick Durbin's word, or whoever that guy is, as to who is on that list and who isn't, and that it can and can't be released. Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are. We have an election coming up, and we need to adjudicate this matter at the polls. God knows the FBI and DOJ aren't going to do anything. But how are you going to reward the FBI with a new headquarters building after their illegal surveillance on Donald Trump continues with a reauthorization of FISA, and we can't even get basic documents out? This is why America hates Congress. And this is why I'm tired of the Republican majority saying they're going to get the job done and failing.
Well, isn't that special? So you heard it right out of the FBI director's mouth. They have the Epstein list. They're sitting on it. It's the Republicans' fault. It's Congress's fault. And why would you get a new FBI building if you are protecting the pedophiles, which Kash Patel has already moved into the new FBI building. And after months and months of stupidity from Pam Bondi and placating and excuses, now there's no Epstein list. There is no Epstein list, and we're not going to talk about it, and you shouldn't either. But it was perfectly fine for you to go around and talk about all this stuff and gaslight everybody with your insider information, and now we're crazy if we talk about the Epstein list. Okay, now let's go hear from Papa himself. Not impressed. Not impressed with this at all. And it's very... Gotta play this. We gotta play this. So let's listen.
Sure. Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former labor secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the
Yeah, sure. If
Hey, could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
Go ahead, Pam. You've answered for months now.
Like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration. But you go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So that one apparently, yeah, okay. That doesn't have her stupid answer in it anyway, but of course, I was a little perturbed. Trump said that today. It was kind of a slap in the face to all of us. Basically, shut up about it. What do you got to talk about? Look at all the great things that we're doing, which is true. He's got a lot of great things going on. Not mad at Donald Trump. Maybe I should be. I don't know. And piss off to any of the people out there like, oh my God, you're going to say something about Trump. You lost your MAGA card. It never really was MAGA. I've just told you guys that for a long time. I am for the truth no matter what, no matter who it is. If Donald Trump was on that Epstein list, we need to do something about it, okay? I don't think he is. I don't think Donald Trump is. But I can guarantee you one thing. The list was not released because there's too many powerful people on that list. And I do believe that that list would probably upend the fabric of society as we know it and blah, yada, yada. And if you ask me if I'm okay with that, I say absolutely, abso-freaking absolutely, because we cannot sustain civilization without accountability. That's all there is to it. If we have a bunch of evil, pedophilic, nasty people that are blackmailed by all the intelligence organizations so they can do whatever bidding that they want to do, the system is corrupt beyond repair. And nobody, not even Donald Trump, is going to be able to save it, because in the end, the truth always comes out. It's already backfiring on Trump. And Pam Bondi is a disgrace. She's a teetotal disgrace. Who in the world does she think that she is? Now, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, kudos for what you're doing to the FBI. But the people, we're not going to forget the Epstein list. I don't give a dang what anybody says. Yes, we're still going to talk about it. The picture I show right here with the video, again, the bottom picture was the jail cell that they told us the video cameras were not working. There it is. Okay? Did they change the doors? Did they put some new numbers on the doors? What is going on here? The video is completely different. Who the heck knows? God knows. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not the same jail cell or whatever, but it certainly looks very suspicious. I mean, they went for years telling us the video feeds were gone. There were no camera feeds. They were malfunctioning that day. And then now all of a sudden, oh, I've seen the evidence. I've seen the video. There is no list. It's a complete change. We got Pam Bondi inviting these social media people to the White House and giving them redacted information, saying this was part one. She had them on her desk. And of course, I heard no, that's not what I meant. The bottom line is this is a gut-wrenching situation we're in. The fact that we are not going to get any accountability, we're not going to expose these evil, horrible people and get them out of the government. Why? Because, well, this could lead to war, this could lead to anything. Well, who gives a shit? I mean, we're already at war. We're fixing to send more weapons to Ukraine. We're not working on a peace deal. We're letting Benjamin Netanyahu determine how he's going to have peace in the Middle East when we just got done bombing Iran. I mean, Jesus, this is laughable. This is complete clown show that we're living in. And again, the Epstein List represented all of the culmination of the worst of society to be dealt with, to be taken care of. And folks like me that's been following this for a long time, it's a big slap in the face. I don't even know. I mean, I was watching something earlier today about Tim Pool was talking about. I haven't watched the video yet. Alex Jones was crying over this for years. I mean, he was the first one that broke this thing to begin with. He was talking about Epstein a decade before anybody was. And nobody listed him because he was an asset. He was an asset. He was a spook asset. This was all done by design. I watched a wonderful Jay Dyer video today, about 28 minutes. You could just hear the defeat in Jay Dyer's voice about all this stuff. It's just... So I think what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to play the Greg Reese report. Last time I played one of these, man, I had to pay for it. But it's pretty good. It's 5 minutes long. But Greg Reese is a wonderful. If you're not following Greg Reese, you know, in the end, I mean, when you think, I mean, we can't put our faith in man. Let me try this one, Reese report. In the end, God. Let's see if this is it. Oh wow, I don't even know where it's at now. I just had it pulled up there. In the end, God is in control, no matter what. Not man, not Donald Trump, not the Trump administration, not Benjamin Yahoo. God is in control. And I don't know why I can't find this. Let's see. Let me try. Oh, I know why. I'm in the wrong thing. Okay. Let me go back to home here. So anyway, I apologize for that, guys. But let me try one more time because it's a really good report. And he just released it. And it's still not showing up. Good Lord. So anyway, I may just post this. How do we do this? If you're with me anyway from this far, then you can hang on for a second. Let's try his Substack. Because it's a really good report, and it doesn't get near. It doesn't get near the play that it does, because usually, let's see if I can get. Here it is. All right, we're going to do this like this. I'm going to bring this up. It's a rough video to watch too, but, you know, the truth is the truth. So we're going to air this here at the end. And boom.
Donald Trump has been friends with Jeffrey Epstein for years. In 2002, he told New York Magazine that he's, quote, known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life. Close quote. Jeffrey Epstein claimed he introduced Donald Trump to Melania. Epstein is known for grooming beautiful women for powerful men. On July 6, 2019, Epstein was arrested. 2 weeks later, he was murdered in his jail cell, all during President Trump's first term. Shortly after Trump began his second term, political agents and useful idiots posed for the cameras with DOJ binders, as if justice was coming, and nothing followed. Until this week, when we were told that the DOJ and the FBI concluded that Epstein had no client list and died by suicide. While this isn't fooling the awakening masses, political agents and useful idiots began doing their best to defend Trump and steer everyone towards immigration, where the solution will obviously be the digital ID for every U.S. citizen. The overwhelming majority of U.S. government representatives are the recipients of hundreds of millions of dollars paid out by AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were clearly part of a sexual blackmail operation run by the Mossad and the CIA to further own the American government. This is why our government officials are all on board with the genocide being committed by the U.S. and Israel.
Do you think that there can be a two-state solution that creates an independent?
I don't know. I'd ask Bibi that question. You have the greatest man in the world to answer that age-old question, two-state. Go ahead. You give him your honest answer.
I think Palestinians should have all the powers to govern themselves, but none of the powers to threaten us. And that means that certain powers, like overall security, will always remain in our hands. Now, that is a fact. And no one in Israel will agree to anything else because we don't commit suicide. We want life, we cherish life for ourselves, for our neighbors. And I think we can work out a peace between us and the entire Middle East with President Trump's leadership. And by working together, I think we can establish a very, very broad peace that will include all our neighbors.
When Pam Bondi was asked about all this, Trump couldn't help but interrupt her and show frustration that anyone was concerned about his old friend of 15 years.
I'm going to skip just a little bit here.
Is say why there was a minute missing from
Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. We have that is time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time
This
like
is
this, where
Pam
we're
Bondi's
having
answer
some
to
of
all
the
this.
greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
And Pam Bondi suggested that the child porn they have in evidence was Epstein's personal collection that he downloaded from the internet. and nothing at all to do with blackmail.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that.
Greg Reese reporting.
So I really wanted to play that here at the end because that was a great report by Greg Reese. If you're not following Greg Reese, he is one in a million. Jay Dyer, one of my absolute favorites. But guys, I mean, that sums it up pretty well. Now, before I end this video, do I think that Donald Trump was part of on the Epstein list or whatever you want to call it? No, I do not. Do I support Donald Trump any less from any of this? No. But am I going to cower down and keep my mouth shut and not criticize for the fact that, he pretty much just wrote this off today, him and Pam Bondi, and said, why are you still talking about this? This is old news. When we've been researching this and there's been court cases and there's still sealed documents and still people that are committing suicide from this case. For years, there's still victims out there that want nothing more than justice. And all we wanted was to get these people out of the government, get these people out of society. And it doesn't look like that's going to happen. To me, what this looks like is business as usual. Screw it all. It doesn't matter. And, so we're going to continue on. There's not a dang thing that I can do about this. There never was. But if you think that this makes me trust the system or it fulfills me with more hope that that we're on the right path forward, I'm sorry, but you're sadly mistaken. I mean, this really, really is a slap in the face, and a lot of people may be right. A lot of people are saying, did you really think this list was going to come out? And, I had my doubts, especially after the social media fiasco, and then, you got to remember this stuff. The FBI was holding it hostage for an entire weekend. You remember that? We got gaslit by the FBI branch in New York was holding all this stuff hostage. And my point is, they could have came out with a press conference and said that all the evidence was destroyed or it was deleted and could not go through. They could have came up with any kind of lie and we would have had to believe it. We would have had to take it, right? They could have said anything. Sorry, but all these hard drives were, the previous administration, and then it would have just been. Now they're telling the truth. They're saying, screw you. This thing is way too big, and there's way too many people implicated in it, and it's going to kill everything. It's going to kill everything, and we don't want to deal with that. We're going to stay on the America First trajectory. Now, you know what? Maybe that's in the long run, maybe that's the right thing to do. Maybe that's a smart thing to do. Never underestimate Donald Trump. But, man, this is not cool. The examples that we're setting on accountability, the examples that we're setting on protecting some of the worst humans in society. It's just, it's disheartening. So, this is my 2 cents. I wanted to show you just a few things. Take you back down memory lane. Because God knows what it's going to be. And then, of course, now you've got the people saying, well, just hold on. Don't give up. Trust the plan. Trust the plan. You know how many freaking times I've heard trust the plan to get slapped in the face? It's beyond me. I don't trust any plan. I don't trust any administration. I don't trust the political organizations. I don't trust the government. I don't trust people to do the right thing. Everybody, I reckon, has a price. And I hope to God that I never even have to face that, because I would rather die a poor man completely outside of this horrible system than to continue to be slapped down at every turn when you think that you're actually going to get some justice. And you actually think that something is going to work out in your favor where you can eradicate these people that have created such a mess. He pointed out one thing. It's the thing I've been talking about the whole time. Transhumanism. The next revolution. What the global leaders want. And they are going to get it. The digital ID. We're going to be looking at some more things in the big, beautiful bill. We've got data centers coming. We've got more and more technology headed our way. Our children are going to be put in the pods willingly. Because the future is going to be very artificially created. And this is where it goes. And I don't believe that we're going to, I don't believe we're going to get away from it. So again, say what you will, you don't like this, or just delete me off the channel. Unfriend me if you don't want to hear this. But this was a major, major letdown today. A major letdown. And if it is 5D chess, I'm sick and tired of the bullshit. I'm sick and tired of the 5D chesses and the play it close to the chest and all this. It's always a freaking angle. It's always a 10-step plan. It's always this. It's always that. It ain't. It's in God's hands. That's all I can say. It's in God's hands. Everything happens for a reason. And I don't know where this is going to go. But Donald Trump, you shouldn't be telling people to forget about this kind of stuff. This is just really stupid. And my God, man. Anyway, all right, I'm going to get off here because I could probably get a lot worse. And this has been another Situational Awareness. And the show will resume back on Wednesday night. So you guys have a wonderful evening and continue to pray. Good night.